We are here in the hills of Texas where it is hotter than snot, but it's for a good reason. We are driving the 2024 Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT 1000. This is not an all-new machine, but it has been thoughtfully updated. We're going to give you 5 things we love, 5 things we hate, and then we're going to tell you exactly who should be buying this machine. Let's get started. The number one thing we love, this is a no-nonsense rig. We live in a time where almost all utility rigs are also toys. This is not a toy. It comes with a 3-year warranty. That's insane. That's almost 3 times as much as some competitors. And it gets that warranty because it is a stout rig. You have a metal bed. You've got metal bed sides. It's a full tilt bed. You've got a new engine that's made for work. This is a tool first, a toy second. The second thing that we love about this rig is it is inexpensive, not cheap. What do I mean by that? We just drove a utility rig that I can't quite tell you about yet, but it was over $50,000. The top of the line Mule Pro FXT is $23,000. Comes with nice seats, comes with nice paint. It's a decked out rig that's a little bit nicer, something you're proud to see in front of your house, but it's still only $23,000, and that still buys you a really solid rig. You get a boxed ladder frame, you get a locking front differential, you get more ground clearance than you've had before. It's a lot of rig for not a lot of money, and for a lot of people, that ticks the right box. Number 3 is power. There's a new motor for 2024. It's a 990cc twin borrowed from the KRX. Is it the same 110 horsepower engine? No, it's been detuned. It's been made to work. So you get a slightly different CVT clutch that engages lower. You've got more low-end torque, but you've also got a lot more power than the old 820. How much more power? 45% more. And that also means this is a faster machine. Kawasaki says it is up to 30% faster than the old 820. We just stretched its legs on a little dirt road, got up to 56 miles an hour, which is the thing that you would not have done with the old Mule. It's also more than its numbers. So you've got this fancy exhaust down here. It's a dual wall exhaust. Why is that important? It keeps you cooler, especially if you were in the back seat. You've got a little bit of heat shielding to keep the heat away from you. The dual wall exhaust keeps you cooler. It also makes the thing considerably quieter. On a work rig, all that noise, all that vibration just makes you worn out that much faster. Kawasaki thought about this and made it a rig that you can use all day long. It's also a lot easier to maintain. They changed the air filter situation. It's a much larger air filter. Used to be you had to change the filter on this rig every 50 hours. Now it's 200 hours. That is a huge change. They've also changed the oil filter location. It's up top. It's got a nice catch tray so that if you do spill any oil, it doesn't go running down into your skid plate. The dipstick's easier to get to. They're fixing a lot of things that have been complaints about the Mule for a really long time, and we love it. Number 4, on the FXT, you get the TransCab. That means you can pick between station wagon mode, where you can seat 6 people, or pickup truck mode, where you get a tilt bed. There are a couple of other rigs on the market that'll let you pick up a convertible bed like this. None of them that are this nice. You get a steel floor. You get steel bed rails, you get a steel headache rack, all of this with a 1,000-pound carrying capacity. If you do have 6 workers you need to move around, this thing converts back to a 6-seat configuration in under a minute, even with only 1 person. That's pretty slick. The 5th thing we love about the 2024 Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT 1000 is the suspension. A lot of utility rigs, they rely on super stiff springs. They absolutely beat you to death. That's not the Mule. It's fairly supple. It'll take washouts, it'll take rocks, any of that fun stuff at speed, and it doesn't beat you to death. That's awesome, especially with a rig with the kind of carrying capacity that this thing has. The incredible part is up-level trims get the industry's first self-leveling suspension. It's a sack shock that's all hydraulic. There are no electronics to it. So as you load the thing down, you start running over bumps, it opens up a valve, moves fluid into a different chamber, and slowly actually lifts the bed to level height. Very clever, very simple, and exactly what you want if you're putting this thing to the test. While the suspension still technically uses the same A-arms, the geometry has changed quite a bit, and that means you have more travel than ever before. You also have more ground clearance than before, almost 13 inches with the preload all the way jacked up. How much is that? You can drive over a 2-liter bottle without ever having to worry about knocking it over. On a rig where you're spending time off on a rough trail bell, that makes a huge difference. Before we go any farther, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. That'll mean you see our newest videos as soon as they come out. We have fresh stuff every week, and if you do all that stuff, you'll see it before anybody else. Now for 5 things that we hate about the 2024 Kawasaki Mule, and the first thing is, it's a homely machine. You know, it's got a face only a mother can love. For the first time, 24, every rig gets the FXR front end, which really helped. You get dual headlights that are halogen and LED, a combination. Does it look better? Yes. Are there prettier machines on the market? Also yes. The second thing that we hate, the interior's a little dated. This rig came out over 8 years ago, and it's doing well, but we are starting to see its age in places. You've got hard plastics in a lot of places, you've got plastic flashing in a lot of places, maybe some unfinished looking interior bits. These bench seats are awesome. You can fit 3 big, well-fed boys up here, no problem. The material is nice, but the finishing just isn't quite there. Keep in mind, this is an inexpensive rig. I think the cheapest one is under $17,000. On the one hand, this is a tool, not a toy. We get that. On the other hand, the market's moved to a place where some of this stuff should be addressed. The third thing that we hate, this is a dual latch tailgate. So, you know, a lot of utility rigs, you get a single point of touch here that'll open and close. These, you've got 2 latches, one on either side. So if you have your hands full, you're kind of hosed. What we do like, unlike other competitors, this is a very clever mechanism, all right? You shut this, slam that, and it's done. You don't actually have to mess with getting the bail around the hook. It just goes. That's nice and simple. We just wish there was only one latch. The fourth thing we hate, these are tiny little tires. The age of 27-inch tires is well past us. Throw some 28s, 29s, 30s on this thing, and it would be a much more impressive looking machine. You'd have more ground clearance, more utility. You know, get rid of these things. The fourth thing we hate, this shifter. Now, yeah, it's easier to use than a lot of CVT shifters, but there are times where you've got to rock back and forth in order to get it in gear. That's kind of troublesome, especially in this day and age where a lot of manufacturers have done just better work. So, you know, clean the sucker up, we'll be good to go. The fifth thing we hate, these tiny little gauges. It doesn't bother me so much that the gauges are small. They do a great job of providing the information that you need, especially for a fairly low dollar machine. We just wish they were in front of the driver. I'm driving over here, I gotta look over here. Am I in 4-wheel drive? What's my fuel economy? All the rest of that stuff. Just move it over. So, who is this rig for? This is for somebody who does work first. This machine, it's an unstoppable force of nature. It goes anywhere that most rec units will go, but its focus really is on getting the job done first and making sure that it can do that job well into the future. There are first-generation mules that are still out there working right now today, and I have little doubt that if you take care of one of these things, it'll be good to go for years and years. You just know it will work every time you get behind the wheel and turn the key. That's who needs to buy this thing. If you're getting out, if you're hitting the trails every weekend, maybe this isn't the rig for you. But for anybody who's got a farm, a ranch, maybe a job where you've got to cover a bunch of miles in a day, this is the rig. All right, that's been 5 things we love and 5 things we hate about the 2024 Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT 1000. If you like what you see, be sure to check us out on utvdriver.com. We're going to have a full review, a buyer's guide, all that excellent stuff. Be sure to check us out at YouTube, social media, all the rest of the channels that you usually find us on. We've got fresh content every day of the week. We have fresh videos and shorts Monday through Friday. We'll see you there.